Repeat my argument back to me.
Say it, it's true.
And then argue against that. Right. I just want a good faith debate. Tell me my argument. Then tell me my argument.
I can talk just as much as you want, okay? I'm just trying to lay
Tell me my argument, Destiny.
It sounds like your argument was it is impossible for a person to have one set of ethics and not condemn another person in society.
No, that's not my argument. My argument.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to leave. Alex, make him shut the fuck up for 2 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Or else he's going to run.
Okay. This was your argument, unless you're having an episode, in which case go get some antipsychotics. Your argument, because your questions to Kyla were, how can you believe that this thing is okay in society, but you personally don't believe it? It seems to be a contradiction that you're saying society can have one set of ethics. Shut the fuck up, you.
Then fucking tell me my argument, you dumb blue-haired gremlin. What are you gonna do, run? What are you gonna do, run?
Andrew Wilson, an excellent debater, is about to get into it with woke Twitch streamer Destiny. And we always love seeing Destiny get burned, and this is another one of those instances. So I know you guys are gonna enjoy it. And they get into a debate over, can a person have two conflicting moral systems? Basically, one moral system that conforms to their religion while also having a moral system that conforms to the laws of society. And so it's a pretty interesting conversation. There's a couple other people involved, and let's just get right into it.
I think this is actually an interesting thought experiment that I think is going to add to this conversation. As Kyla or Destiny, they think Len of the Plug's relationship with Adam 2 is an example of healthy or unhealthy on first glance.
They seem happy to me, but this is an extraordinary relationship. You're talking about two people that do pornography professionally and live their whole lives in the public eye. Like, that's a rough one. That relationship, that's always, even a perfectly monogamous Christian couple living that public a relationship is going to be really difficult. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't know either of them well enough to say.
What about you, Kyla?
I think that's a pretty good interpretation in general. Would that be something I recommend for the average couple? No, but most couples aren't famous podcasters who do porn professionally. So it's not something in general that would generalize well to the public. But yeah, I would say in general, if that was a non-professional porn, that might be an issue. But
you don't feel though that
Kyla, I gotta ask you.
Oh, okay.
Andrew. Within your Christian ethics, is it okay that they do public pornography?
Yes. Well, are they Christian?
I'm asking you if you think it's ethical.
Are they Christian? Yeah, I'm asking you. I don't know. Maybe I don't know something about Adam.
I don't think so.
Oh, then I don't give a fuck what religious people do. I don't require them to follow my precepts.
Okay, so just so there's no
I try to follow the book.
So there's no criteria for you, or can you say that that's immoral?
Religious predilections.
Yeah, can you say that that's immoral or not?
Yeah, this is the problem.
No, it's not immoral.
Yeah.
Not for that, no.
Is anything immoral? Hang on, Kyla. Is
you?
anything immoral?
I'm not.
Wait,
is anything immoral, Kyla? Shut up, Grace. I haven't talked at all. Kyla, is anything immoral? Anything? What? What is immoral? What?
Things that utilitarian-wise, everyone would agree are.
So your entire ethical system has nothing to do with Christianity. It has to do with secular utilitarian ethics.
You already admitted that God is a utilitarian, so you agree.
It's never happened.
You did.
Tell me when.
In this conversation.
When? You just made that up in your crazy brain.
Said that it's all about extents and stretches, and that as things change over time, when it comes to
that this never occurred.
Use,
literally never occurred. You just made the whole thing up in your brain. I've never said anything about God being a utilitarian. That's one. Two, I want to ask you, are you saying that you don't derive your morality from Christianity? You derive it from utilitarian ethics, secular ethics?
For society, for other people, for the most part, for myself, I believe that Christians committing sin is immoral. But if you're not a Christian,
then you can't do any wrong
things. No. Do you want me to answer?
Yes.
Want building your
I do want you to answer.
Do you want to listen? Okay.
I'm listening.
Do you want me to use my daddy voice for you too?
Yeah. Use whatever voice you think that can answer the question.
The daddy voice. So the answer to the question
is more butch.
Yes, it is more butch. That's true. Good job. Basically, what I said is that drugs are fine, sex is fine. In the case of society, I tend to use a utilitarian frame model because for Christians, there's a different code of ethics that they're required to live by than non-religious people. This is very standard in most religious practices. You don't put your religious predilections on other people. I'm not a fucking Muslim. I don't need to have a political system based out of my religion.
Fair enough. So from your perspective, though, as a Christian, is what they're doing immoral?
They're not Christian.
That's not my question. From your perspective as a Christian, following the ethics you do, you still know what's moral and immoral, informed by your Christianity. Is what they're doing immoral?
No, of course not.
It's not. It's not immoral that they're porn stars on the internet.
It's
What
not
is
From a
immoral for
Christian,
Christians?
what the fuck?
For Christians,
I've never heard
what is
anything
immoral?
that insane, literally, in my whole life ever.
Okay, so that's pretty much the premise. And we're going to skip forward a little bit because they just go back and forth asking the same question and answering the same way. But you get it. In my opinion, it's a very clear-cut question that Andrew was asking her. And I think you know exactly what he's saying and trying to ask. But for some reason, she keeps answering in the same manner. So let's skip forward to the part where Destiny gets involved.
Okay. Can I take a stab at this? Okay. You can absolutely hold two different quote-unquote set of ethics. You're not holding contrary sets of ethics, though. What you can understand is you can have a system of morals that stands in contradiction to the law. For instance, a Catholic might believe that it's immoral to consume pornography, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a Catholic would prescribe that it changes the law in the country that they're in, right? In a way, you could read
That's not
this
the
as a
argument.
render unto Caesar. What?
That's
Hold on.
not the
No.
argument.
It doesn't seem to be the argument because you're conflating the law
It
and the
doesn't seem to be
morality. So
because
you
it's
ask
not.
somebody, when you ask somebody, do you consider it a sin when somebody does something else? Generally, what is or isn't a sin is something that you're concerned with, and you're concerned with other people in your faith. Personally, I've never been in the business of or seen other Christians, at least, maybe for Muslims it's different, maybe for Jews it's different, maybe for other people it's different, is trying to evaluate. I never in my life, I took 4 years of fucking Catholic high school, 8 years of Catholic grade school. Never once did we have a class we went through, what do Muslims do that's sinful? What do Jewish people do that's sinful? We've never done that before. We're concerned with what are sins in our society, the Christian church, the Catholic church specifically. What does the catechism say? What does your preacher say?
Okay,
And
that's
then where
great,
it
but
starts and
repeat
stops.
my
So the
argument
question- hold on,
back
hold on,
to
hold
me.
on. Hold on.
You're arguing against a straw man.
No. You've traveled like 20,000 different.
I haven't
acres of
traveled
argument.
anywhere.
Well,
Repeat
you
my
covered
argument
so
back
much.
to
As you
me.
say it, it's true.
And then
Okay,
argue
okay,
against
okay,
that.
sorry, hold
I
on.
just want a
I'm-
good faith debate. Tell me my
I'm
argument.
trying to answer.
Then
You
tell
don't
me
even
my
make- you're trying to see
argument.
questions. I can talk just as much as you want, okay? I'm just trying to lay
Tell
down
me my
very basic-
argument, Destiny.
It sounds like your argument was it is impossible for a person to have one set of ethics and not condemn another person in
No,
society.
that's
for an
not my
action which
argument.
becomes-
My argument.
Hold on,
Right.
hold on. I'm gonna leave. Alex, make him shut the fuck up for 2 seconds, okay?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
or else he's
Let me
gonna
finish.
run.
Okay, this was your argument, unless you're having an episode, in which case go get some antipsychotics. Your argument, because your questions to Kyla were, how can you believe that this thing is okay in society, but you personally don't believe it? It seems to be a contradiction that you're saying
not
society
my
can have
argument.
one set of ethics. Shut the fuck up, you retarded fuck.
Then
Let me finish
fucking
my
tell me
fucking
my
statement.
argument, you
I'm
dumb
not
blue-haired
finished. I can't
gremlin.
even finish a fucking
What are you gonna
sentence.
do,
Wait,
run?
one
What are you
second.
gonna do,
I'm
run?
literally restating.
I'm gonna mute all of you guys. Okay, let's just go one at a time. Let's let Destiny finish his point, then you can respond to it, Andrew.
Keep Andrew muted because he cannot
I mean,
stop doing
Jesus
this bad
Christ, I can't even finish a single fucking statement. Okay,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so
Destiny.
Andrew's line of questioning was trying to expose that Kyla had an inability to condemn anybody for sin because it seemed like she held the double standard that society could have one set of ethics and she can have a personal one, which is why Andrew was asking questions like, oh, well, do you think that this lifestyle is sinful? And then Kyla would say, well, no, I don't think so for me. Well, what about for other people? I don't judge Christians. That's why he went down the line of questioning of, is murder wrong? Is anything wrong? Because it seems like under your current system of whatever you do, you're unable to fundamentally say any particular action is wrong. And then Kyla tried to say something about utilitarianism, and he said, well, how do you hold contrary sets of ethics? That was what the entire argument was. In my opinion, I think the reason why you're running into such a difficult to answer question here is because you're conflating what is the law or what is legally permissible with what is ethical. No, the Andrew's going to say, no, I was talking about ethics the whole time, but that's not truly what we're talking about because the
Yes, it
idea,
is.
now this is where I go into my personal opinion, the idea that as a Christian,
He's gonna
you could
speed
condemn
talk, but I'm
somebody
not gonna let him
else
get off the
for
hook.
not following your Christian ethics, that's just a
He can
very
spur
bizarre
talk all he
statement.
wants,
In my
but
personal
watch.
opinion,
One question.
from how I learned Christianity or Catholicism, usually when you're criticizing other people's
This diversion
inability
doesn't
to hold
work
to the
with
Ten
me.
Commandments, the
I've seen
Beatitudes,
this like
whatever
100
set of ethics we're
times.
talking about in terms of Christianity,
100
you're saying
times.
things like God
I'm gonna
commands
pin
us
him down
to do this,
right away.
God commands you to do that. These are the Beatitudes, these are the commandments, these are what the priest says, blah, 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 blah. So usually compelling somebody within a faith. So it's a very difficult question to ask from a religious point of view is how do you condemn somebody else's morals that is outside of your faith? All you can do at that point is appeal to the law. And your ethics probably don't have to be exactly matching with what the law is. For example, in the case of smoking cigarettes or pornography. That's my thing.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
so-
Now, to address my argument was really simple. I asked Kyla a simple question. I asked
Wait,
you the
hello?
same thing.
Andrew.
What just happened?
Oh.
So,
Alex-
so hang on,
Oh, okay.
right? Because Alex muted me again. But that wasn't my question. It wasn't my argument, which is why I asked you in good faith to repeat my argument back to me. That way we could have the productive conversation. But what I asked specifically is, can you hold two different sets of moral values, and both of them can be true at the same exact time if they conflict with each other? Meaning, if and Kyla's
stated what I just
stop
said.
because you didn't answer this
Wait,
question.
Destiny,
You didn't answer. You spurred and talked a lot, but you actually didn't answer this question. The question is, if one conflicting moral value structure says that it's okay to murder and another one does not, and you're a Christian, say it's not okay to murder, and you're, let's say, a utilitarian who does, only one of those can be true. Yes or no, Destiny?
Yes.
Yes.
Problem.
Thank you.
And that's where I'd like to jump in and ask you guys, let me know in the comments section who you agree with and where do you stand on this particular debate.
Thank you.
As I restated, the problem was you're not holding, when we talk about murder, right? We're not really interested
That's it.
societally in the moral
That's the
condemnation
debate.
of murder. What we're really looking for is what is
That's
the
the
law.
debate.
Christians don't compel people to not murder necessarily, societally speaking. Another person,
Yes,
because
they
it's
do.
what God commands,
Yes, they
you
do.
say it's
They
because
do it
this
all
is
the time.
illegal. When we're talking about what the law is going to be different than your particular moral thing. Now, there's going to be a lot in Christianity where your morals
But the
actually
law is a
map
reflection of
onto the
society's
law.
morality.
Your morals in Christianity are going to map onto things that are very similar to the law. For instance,
Yes,
don't
there could be
steal,
overlap. I agree.
Don't steal.
Yeah,
don't
there can be
steal,
overlap. Yeah.
Don't steal and don't kill. Those
Yeah.
are two things. However, it's also a Christian commandment not to be adulterous. That's actually not something that's illegal in the United States.
That's right.
Now, just because it's not illegal in the U.S. and just because it is illegal in the Christian world, is that a conflicting set of morals or
Yes.
ethics? No.
How is it not? Tell me how it's not.
Because
I
in
don't- he's
society,
too
what we're
stupid
talking
for
about
that.
In
is
what
the
world is it
law.
not a conflict, dude?
I don't know. I can't.
Bro,
do
you're-
it. He's not
you're-
answering
No,
the
you
question.
can, and I am. I've been more good faith in this debate than
Hey,
either of
wait,
you.
wait,
I'm gonna go out drinking tonight. I need some friends here. I need
All
to
right.
get the
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
out
I
of here.
know.
I'm going
No,
crazy.
answer
Alex,
my
what are you doing
question,
tonight?
Destiny. How's it not a conflict?
I just told you, because what you're analyzing societally is the law. We don't have a societal set of ethics that we compel people to follow using some kind of like third-party punishment. We don't do that.
That
We
still
have the
wouldn't.
law.
That still wouldn't
just
mean
means
that there's
Andrew,
no
you've already
performative
said this.
conscience.
You've already said this.
Stop.
You've already said this.
Stop,
You've already
Erudite.
agreed to this. You've already agreed to
Stop,
this.
Erudite. I know you want to spurg, but here's the
Destiny-
thing. That
Destiny-
really has
Destiny
nothing to
response.
do with whether or not these are
Destiny
contradictory or contradictions to each other. The ethical systems, whether or not secularism legalizes X behavior and Christians don't believe it, only one of those systems can be true. So when I ask you, if you're a Christian, do you follow Christian ethics? And you say yes, this means that you follow this format for an ethical system based on your religion. What secularists believe is going to necessarily, if it conflicts with that, be immoral. Tell me how that's not true.
Because a secular society is the society itself is not generally in the business. The state is not in the business of what's determining what is moral or immoral.
I'm asked a
It's
truth
just determining
claim.
legality.
Truth.
The state is agnostic on the truth. It doesn't make a statement about the truth there.
That has nothing to do with anything, Destiny. It doesn't matter
Wait,
if the
let me
state's
see- let me
agnostic.
see-
Hold on. Wait. You didn't respond to what I said. You just said
Because
that
it's
it doesn't do
irrelevant. It's
anything.
erroneous. It
I
doesn't
agree,
mean
the
anything. It has
question
nothing
is
to do with my
irrelevant.
question.
Your question is
Bro,
irrelevant.
what is
You're
going
asking.
on?
How's my
you're-
question
you're trying to-
irrelevant? It's the only
because
question.
You're trying to ask. You're trying to pretend that there are two conflicting set of ethics. The reason
There
why you're
are.
confused is because there's not. There's a set of ethics, and then there's the law. These things will conflict sometimes. It's
But-
not illegal to
The law
lie to
is a
somebody.
reflection
But hang
of
on, but
ethics.
Destiny,
it's a
Grace,
reflection
let me
of
finish.
society's
Grace,
ethics.
let me
Grace,
finish.
please
But
say no.
Destiny,
No, it's not.
you said
What
only
else is
one.
it based on?
Grace, shut up.
Grace.
You said only one can be true. That's what you.
No.
Yeah, no, you
I
said that,
if there-
Destiny.
I said if there are two conflicting sets of ethics, generally one can be true.
Only
But in
one can be true.
society, It's not a set of ethics. It's the law.
No, it's not just the law. Law doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with ethics.
I'm sorry.
Well,
In
well,
society,
well,
where does the government tell me? Where are my list of things that are moral or immoral in the United States of America?
They actually do. They draw on this very heavily, especially from the Bible, which the axiomatic for the entire United States
When you finish this
Constitution.
ramble, I'm going to restate the same question. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the entire axiomatic principle of the United States Constitution is that all men are created equal. That is, well, the Declaration of Independence, right? That's axiomatic. So the thing is that if you're gonna state these things and you're gonna say, hey, listen, if you have two conflicting sets of values, they can both have overlap, I would agree, but only one can be true is my point. And so if only one is true and you're a Christian, how can you follow the other one and say it's not immoral? That makes no sense, bro.
And this pretty much goes on for the next couple minutes, but I want to say that to Destiny's last point there, where he said it's not a set of ethics as the law, I mean, that's kind of the point. The law is separated from your set of ethics, and to Andrew's point, there is some overlap, but just because one is legal and lawful doesn't mean that it conforms to your particular religious beliefs. I don't know. I thought this was a good conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, share this video. Come visit me Wednesdays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. That's where I go live with the Jar Openers podcast. We have a lot of fun. Click the link down in the description to join the Discord. It's a growing family. We have a space over there where if you're a content creator yourself, you can share your uploads, your videos, all that type of stuff. And we're just, generally having fun in there. But if I don't see you in the Discord or in one of the lives, be on the lookout for the next video because you're not going to want to miss it.